What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to episode, three?
Three, yeah.
Of Bloomington Buddies. We're going to be recapping week 1, college football, everything from Friday to Monday. Thursday was in the other video. We couldn't get one of those soundproof rooms, so we're just doing it in here.
My dorm.
It won't be too much longer, I think. Maybe like a month or two until we're actually using the podcast
Not even
room.
It should hopefully be either next week or the week after. That's what they're saying.
I submitted the form for a thing.
So.
It should be relatively eventually. There's no reason
that we shouldn't get it. Yeah, he said we should get it, but when we thought of
in this episode, obviously recapping week 1. Yeah. You wanted to do fantasy teams because it was kind of scuff at the end of last episode.
And then I ended up just cutting it out because it was like 2 minutes of it, and then it just died on us. Your computer died, so I just cut it out.
And then what else did you want? Did you have anything else you wanted to do?
I don't know. I think we were gonna.
We'll think of stuff if it comes.
Well, we are gonna start doing like fun segments with sports. We're gonna start trying to do a trivia segment, maybe just kind of like. He has an idea for it. I want to start doing like just basic segments where we kind of do like opinions, not necessarily just go over stuff. Yeah. I did that when I did my radio show. We kind of did where we had like 5 really quick questions and then we just gave our opinions, and it was like a 3-4 minute segment. So we're gonna try to do a couple things, but for now we're just gonna recap stuff. That's gonna be our plan. Trying to make sure. I think there was something else.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
All right, first game on Friday. Western Michigan and Michigan State. You don't gotta go Gamecocks.
No, that's true. I was gonna go to box score just to look at it. But
I mean, Western hung around there for a little bit. It was a close game
in the first quarter.
It was they outscored 10-0 in the third.
Yeah.
But ultimately, Michigan State with a pretty good game. Peyton Thorne 4 touchdowns. I mean, I was impressed with Michigan State. They looked pretty good. Good win for Michigan State.
Why are we even going over this?
Okay, Eastern Michigan beat Eastern Kentucky. Good for y'all.
Yeah,
this is embarrassing.
This is embarrassing.
This is downright. We need to talk about this.
I don't even know how.
Okay, so apparently Virginia Tech and Old Dominion have an agreement where they like play every year. If you want to play the storming the field video, go for it. But I mean, you're Virginia Tech. You should not be in a position.
We do not support the following ads.
You should not be in a position where you are losing to Old Dominion. Come on, that is embarrassing.
Sound will go up in a minute. We do not support the following ads.
You're a has-been program.
Here they come as Old Dominion takes down Virginia Tech.
Look, they're tearing down the goalposts. Look at this. This because you lost to Old Dominion. I mean, and here's the thing. I think this happened like 4 years ago.
Did it? I thought that they won.
Recently they've lost to Old Dominion.
I don't think they have.
Like 2017.
They haven't been around very long.
Second win over Power 5, both versus Virginia Tech. Second win versus Power 5 team. They own your ass. A terrible look for the ACC and just a really bad look.
Yeah, it's just
a really bad look for Virginia Tech.
It's not a good look for them at all.
Come on.
And I think we had them going, 7-5?
I had them going better than that.
I mean,
you're a has-been. You're a has-been. Virginia Tech.
This one we don't care about. William
and Mary. An FCS team blowing out an FBS team. William and Mary, good on you.
Yeah, well, I mean, Charlotte sucks.
Good.
What can we say? I called this, and he said, "Nah, Temple's gonna beat Duke." Well, Duke won 30-0.
I don't know if I said they were gonna win.
No, you said that Duke was gonna lose to Temple, and I said, "You think so?" And I said, "They're not that good." And you go, "Well, maybe they won't."
Good for Duke.
But
good for Duke.
Oh my God, they need
Bill
Cosby back.
Now this
one doesn't surprise.
This was surprise.
No,
you thought Kansas was going to be anyone.
Yes.
Anyone.
Yes, remember, we talked about this, and the spread was like -30, and I said that's the only game Kansas is going to win by the spread, and you said, no way they cover the spread.
Bro, if you told me Kansas was beating anyone by 46 points, I would not believe it. It was like 30-something.
I feel like it was, like...
Yeah.
I can't remember.
You can go back.
I don't remember who it was.
But, like, I'm sorry, Tennessee Tech, you are a sludge pit.
I love when they don't give you the spread.
You're terrible.
Kansas was 35-point favorites. I think. Oh no, that's when the score was at that point.
Oh, wait, go on.
Was that it? Yeah, the over/under was they were favored by 30 points, and I said that's the one game they're going to cover.
If you told me Kansas was beating anyone by 46 points,
I said it was going to.
I'm sorry, I don't even think they could beat a high school team by 46 points.
Oh my gosh,
but good.
I do hate this stuff sometimes. ESPN.
Okay,
pisses me off.
The IU game's next, right?
Oh, hang on. I gotta go back to this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Don't do GameCast unless they absolutely have to.
Okay, so we've got.
We got the IU games next.
Is it?
Yeah,
it was. Okay. If you haven't seen our videos, I know I posted mine to our channel and my channel. He posted his to his channel. I don't know. Did you ever? I told you to upload it to our channel. Did you?
The full vlog?
Yeah, I uploaded my full vlog to Bloomington Buddies. And
I
told
didn't
you to do the
upload
same.
my full.
Oh, I told him to do it. I don't know. He
I don't
obviously
remember.
didn't.
I don't remember you telling me to do that.
I think I told you on that night, and I think we were both just so tired. I uploaded it, and I think I passed out. I lost my voice, as you guys will if you guys watch the vlog.
I woke up the next day. I had a giant headache.
Yeah.
I couldn't talk. I
know.
felt sick the whole Labor Day weekend.
It was horrible.
We went too hard.
Yeah, we did.
Before, during, and after the game.
I lost my voice before kickoff even started.
He didn't go as hard after the game. As
No. Except for I did get called an ass by an old lady,
That was
which
funny.
is one of my favorite now news stories. She called me an ass for saying that we were going to win against other
He was
big teams.
talking to his phone. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, 'cause you're out of
We
beer."
were all just super hyped, we were like, we want Bama next, Michigan, we don't care. And she turns around to me and goes, you don't have to be an ass about it. And I was like,
the guy,
she was like, her husband, she said, my husband goes to Indiana,
or went to Indiana.
or went to Indiana, and he still supports him. So you don't have to be an ass about it. And I looked at, and then I realized she has an Illinois shirt on. I was like, that explains it. And so she walks off. I said, well, guess we have somebody who doesn't like our commentary.
A bunch of the guys in the student section were like, we want Bama. I'd be like, hey. No, we don't.
No, we don't.
We do not
We do
want
not
Bama.
want Bama. But
Okay,
so
let's
we
talk
were
about the
just
actual game.
All right,
Okay. Connor Bazelak
is a good
for
quarterback.
Heisman.
No. Whoa. Okay, we're getting a little too far back.
It was a back and forth
Do
game.
they have the... they don't have the video. I want the video of that last second, the last 2 minutes. You know what I'm talking about? Where they're at the 5 and they keep going and
They
going?
march.
That was so beautiful.
But, for the entire... first quarter, pretty standard, 7-3.
Yeah.
The second quarter is really good. They had a bomb over the top, touchdown.
Yeah.
Great play,
And then, of course,
they got 2 field goals, too.
I say it about every time IU plays a football game. They have one quarter where they played the worst game of football ever, and that was the third quarter.
Actually, that was the third quarter and most of the fourth quarter.
And most of the fourth quarter. They had that one last second drive.
The
It was
entire
it.
second half was awful because they could not run the
No,
ball.
they only
Couldn't run the
scored
ball.
one time in the last half, and that was it with 20 seconds left in the game where they won. That was it. And we were flipping out, but we were just like, I told you, they're going to suck at one half.
They just Tom Allen just kept trying to run the ball and it wouldn't work because
No.
Illinois was so much better in the trenches.
And not only that, Illinois was running the ball on us. By the way, before that fourth quarter even started, the running back for Illinois had 125 rushing yards.
If you asked me,
I want to know. I kind of want to know how much he had, but I'll look it up later.
Illinois looked like the
looked
better
good.
team.
They
looked
were
like the better team.
I think that overall, but I also feel like it was kind of they already had a game to warm up. This was our first game.
That's true.
And we still won.
That's true.
So
hold on, go back.
I kind of want to go to box score.
I want to say one thing about. First, I'm going to talk about the Illinois team and the Illinois fans. Okay, I think you can agree with this.
Don't be an ass, okay?
I think you can agree with this. There are things you see more. Okay, when you attending a game,
There's so many more things you see.
but there are also things that you don't see as much of, like things.
100%.
Like hold on,
Like the game.
like Illinois was playing dirty as hell that game.
Oh yeah, and you guys didn't see half of that. If you watched on
That's
TV.
the type of thing that you don't see.
And there was actually, I watched the highlights just to see, because I missed some big plays because of the way we were sitting in the angle. I couldn't see it. So I watched the highlights again today, actually, and they show one of our players get shoved, but they don't see who it is. Number 89, we were all about to just totally just beat the living hell out of him.
Bro, it literally.
Oh.
Jimmy was talking to me. He's like, bro, this is giving me like Malice at the Palace vibes. What if
Right?
that guy just turns around and jumps in the stands?
Dude,
We're fucked.
No, I was like, dude, we will literally... It's a whole student section against one dude who's winning. And then he was like,
man.
no, it would be the whole student section against the Illinois team. And I said, yeah, and then we get our team over here. Who do you think's winning?
What's it called? No, but there was what's it called? The Illinois fans that have been crying and complaining about the refs.
Dude, you guys got the luckiest calls throughout half the game.
No. The Illinois fans complaining about the refs is embarrassing.
Yeah.
It is so embarrassing. I have a YouTube channel. I run an IU page on Instagram, so I interact with a lot of different fans. And the Illinois fans are they're embarrassing. They keep trying to go back to the one call in the end zone where, like, they both had it and the ball got ripped
And
out of
actually,
his
okay, I
hands.
will say this, and I'm not an Illinois fan. I definitely didn't see that as a completed pass, but if you go back and watch the footage, I watched the highlights. even the announcers, I agree with them. It looked like a touchdown.
I don't think so.
No, because
it's
you
not a
can't.
touchdown.
That's because you're a Hoosier fan. I know it is because
They
you
both
get
had the
offended.
ball and he ripped it out. I'm sorry, that's not a touchdown.
No, he didn't. If you watch the footage again, I'm glad we won, and
But
in
the
the
fact
moment
that
I
they-
was super excited.
They won't shut up about it.
They should. Yeah, it's over. There's nothing you can do about
And
it.
what
But I
really,
understand why they're
you know what really,
upset. I understand.
hold on, you know what really lost Illinois the game? When it was 17-16, and they
threw
had
a
the
pick.
ball. No, and they had the ball on like the 1.
And they did it for 4th and down.
And they went for it, and they didn't get it. And I was like, they need to kick the field goal now because IU
they're
can't
looking
even.
back on that,
I'm like,
yeah.
because IU can't even cross the 50-yard line.
Yeah, they're looking back.
They lost out on 3 points, and you lost the fucking game. You lost the game by 3 points.
Yeah,
That's what lost you the game, not the one call in like the first quarter when you still had a chance to get a drive going.
That's not necessarily true. If they would have won that, they wouldn't need to kick the field goal.
No, but it wasn't a catch. He lost the ball.
He lost the ball after he'd already hit the
No, it's not a
okay,
catch.
Dude, you watch it. I'm telling you right.
I've seen the play 100 times. It's not a catch.
He only had
It's
one
not a
hand.
catch.
He had one hand in there, which means they didn't have full
Okay,
possession of the ball.
Whatever.
Anyway,
Don't matter.
it's over. But I'm telling you, I understand why fans are upset.
Illinois' football team and the Illinois fans in particular, not every Illinois fan, but the Illinois fans who've just been crying and complaining, you get a big old one of these.
Well, I mean, it's just
God,
facts of
they're
life.
so annoying.
Well, you know what? To be fair, everybody thinks
This
we're
was
annoying too.
embarrassing.
This wasn't embarrassing. I told you TCU was going to win. Colorado got destroyed, and it's really there's not much to talk about. The first half was close, and then TCU just went.
The Pac-12 is in shambles.
Yeah, it's not. I don't even want to talk about
Absolute
the Pac-12.
shambles.
All right. This is Saturday's games. Why we're even talking about this one? Everybody knew Alabama won 55-0. I mean, somebody literally. It was so funny. Somebody goes. I saw one of those meme videos where it was critiquing all the SEC teams and the ACC teams. They did each one's separately, and it was going through and critiquing each thing, and then it came up on Alabama, and they were like, I know, you're going to critique that we let them get 100 total yards in this game, and I just want to let you guys know that our defense will be better next week, and we promise that we won't let them get 100 total yards. And I was like, dude, if that's what you're worried about, you know you have a good team.
Honestly, Texas might not get 100.
They may not. We'll see, though. But I have a couple friends that are going to Alabama, and that student section was, they're almost as bad as we are, so I don't feel bad.
In terms of what, like trash talk?
Oh, they were like full blown cussing out Auburn, and like they were just like they were ready, they were good. This game I watched it, he watched it. I didn't watch the middle part because I saw this score at the end of the first quarter, and I was like, this is gonna be one of those boring games. Like Ohio State's gonna go off.
Notre Dame's defense, it impressed me a lot.
It didn't really me because they lost their star receiver.
Still though, they didn't really get much going when he was in the game anyway.
He went out in the first quarter.
He really wasn't doing much.
They scored a touchdown in the first quarter.
Okay, that was one score. He was not.
He wasn't productive because he went out.
If Najigba Smith played the whole game,
they would have won by more.
No,
they would have scored 35 points.
No, they would not.
I think they would.
No,
I think they would have.
You didn't. You literally just told me you didn't watch the game.
I didn't watch the middle part. I watched the.
Yeah, when he was literally in the game, doing nothing.
I watched the first quarter. He went out in the first quarter.
Jackson Smith-Jigba is not changing that. No, it would have been the same game.
No,
Notre Dame played well. I was impressed with Notre Dame.
Their offense was looking horrible, and throughout, especially the second half.
I mean, the second half, the wheels kind of fell off. I will say Tyler Buckner. I mean,
he's going to be an okay quarterback.
He will be an improvement over Jack Cohn.
100%. Look, in my opinion, I think he's going to be better than both of them.
Maybe. Okay, sure. Let's say that they looked good. I think they have an outside chance of making the playoff.
Well, yeah, now that it's 12 teams, maybe, but I don't think they finished
Not this
top
year.
15.
It's 4 this year and next year.
No, I was told that they were starting it either this year or if not this year, then next.
It's not this year.
Then they said next year.
It's not this year.
Then
Or
it
next.
starts
It's
next.
2024.
They said 2022 or 2023.
It's not 2022.
And they just changed that.
It's 4 this year.
Well, either way, then Notre Dame's not making it. There's no way. Because now that Ohio State beat
So
them,
what would need to happen is tell me right now.
They would have to win every game the rest of the season. If they lose one,
I think they will.
They will not. They will not. Like, look, let's see real quick who their teams are that they're playing. They play Marshall, California. At North Carolina could possibly be a loss.
Did
they
you
play
see
Clemson.
North Carolina gave up 40 points in the fourth quarter to App State? Well, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we will. But
we'll
also,
talk
they
about
play
that.
Clemson and USC and
USC maybe.
And
they are not losing to Clemson.
Yes, they are.
Clemson looked like garbage against Georgia Tech.
How do they look like garbage?
Because they look like garbage? Because they're not good.
They're not good. That's why they blew them out of the water.
Their defense is top 2 or 3 in the country.
Okay.
Their offense is like on level with IU.
Okay. A defense wins the battles most of the time. Think about it. And the Super Bowl against when we saw the Seahawks and the Broncos had the best offense.
Notre Dame is a more complete team than Clemson, and they will beat Clemson.
They will not beat Clemson. If they beat Clemson, then they'll make
the
they still won't make the playoffs.
Okay, we'll talk about Clemson when we get to Clemson. No. We'll get to Clemson eventually. Probably near the end of the video, but we'll talk about Clemson.
We'll talk about Clemson.
But I think Notre Dame impressed me, and Ohio State. Honestly, they didn't look as dominant as I thought they would be, but I think it's a combination of we overestimated a little bit Ohio State and we underestimated a little bit Notre Dame.
I don't. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna go undefeated and they're gonna.
That was a really close game. It was like 14.
It was a close game through the first half, and then it wasn't.
Oh, you mean in the third quarter when it was in the fourth quarter when it was a 4-point game? Oh, it was a blowout the whole game.
It wasn't.
You gotta look at the progression of the game.
No,
you can't just look at the final 100%, score.
Correct. But once he started getting hot, what happened? Notre Dame couldn't do crap.
What, they scored twice?
They scored 14 unanswered points. They were literally behind, and they scored 14 unanswered.
Okay, when people were thinking Ohio State was going to drop 50, okay,
I didn't think they would drop 50, but I knew they would win by at least 2 scores.
People said Stroud is the best quarterback, Henderson's the best running back,
top 2,
and Najigba Smith is the best receiver.
Both of which are expected to go top 5 in the draft. So yeah, I would say that they are.
They did not look as impressive as I thought they would.
And once again, Smith went out in the freaking first quarter injured.
That's why they switched them in Georgia, and my God.
No, they switched them in Georgia because Georgia beat a ranked team by so many points because Oregon freaking sucks. Actually, there's a difference.
Oregon, what are we gonna do with you, man? What are we gonna do with it?
Sadly, they don't look at this. They're number 2. They beat number 5. They look at how many points did you score. That's stupid. That's not how you should determine something. Because Oregon is 20 times worse than Notre Dame.
That's fact.
And Ohio State beat them by 2 scores. Just saying.
Okay.
And yet now
it's a close competitive game.
Exactly. That proves that they can beat a tough team. Georgia beat Oregon. Congratulations. Yeah, absolute blowout.
So right
I give them credit where credit is due.
So right now you'd put Ohio State ahead of Georgia.
100%.
You're insane.
Are you
You're
kidding me?
absolutely insane.
Who's going to the national championship?
Georgia and Alabama.
No, you just now changed it because it wasn't that.
Yep.
And they're not going to the
No, they are.
finals. No,
they are. Georgia looked a million times better than Ohio State. I get Notre Dame. Okay, I understand Notre Dame is better than Oregon. Okay,
100%.
I get that, but they are not. What, 40? They beat them by 46. They beat them by 11. Notre Dame is not 36 points better than Oregon.
I think they could do quite a
Georgia,
bit like this.
I
think they win by.
Georgia scored a touchdown on their first 7 possessions.
Okay.
This game could have been 80-3.
It wasn't 83.
It could have been.
No, we couldn't have.
Yes, it could have.
I'm telling you, couldn't have. And I'm telling you right now,
the fact that they could have hung 70 or 60 on them if they wanted to.
If we put Ohio State up against Georgia right now,
and they're lucky to have a field goal.
Ohio State. I hate Ohio State with a passion.
No
I hate Ohio
way.
State. I don't like Ohio State. But I'm telling you right now, I feel like that team was
because Georgia had a lot of. We knew what we were getting with Ohio State. We knew that this guy.
I knew what we were getting with Georgia. You didn't. I told you Georgia
was implementing a lot of new players.
And I still knew that they were going to be perfectly fine.
Georgia was implementing a lot of new players, and we finally got word that they are just as good as last year.
I already knew this. You're acting like we all thought this. You said, "Oh no, Oregon's going to come in and beat them." I said, "No, they're not. They're off a national championship. They still have a great team."
I wouldn't have been surprised if Georgia won.
They're going to go, and you said no.
Okay. This is a combination of 2 things. This team is a lot better than a lot of people thought they were, and this team is putrid. This team is garbage.
A lot of people thought Georgia would be perfectly fine. A lot of people, because you know why? Most people have Georgia in their playoffs. Almost every person.
A lot of people did.
Who?
You didn't have them in your playoff?
I did at first, and then I took them out because I think that there are teams that are going to be better. But I didn't say that Georgia was going to. You were like, "No, Georgia's not going to be that."
I said they'll go 10-2,
which puts them at 9th in the country. If we're being generous.
Which is where Georgia has been every year before last.
And I said Georgia was going to be top 5. They weren't going to make the playoffs, so I thought they were going to be around 5th.
We'll see.
But or probably where they're going to stay.
I'm going to go on a spiel about the Pac-12 when we get to Utah.
Oh, jeez. He's just salty because I called that.
Okay.
This one, I don't need this.
This is, okay, defense for A&M, perfect. Pitch to shutout. I think the offense
could have done better.
Is kind of concerning.
I mean, it's not concerning, but it's...
I feel like you're making that Jimbo Fisher is making a big mistake starting Haynes King over Max Johnson.
I agree.
I feel like he seems pressured to start Max Johnson. This is also a weird game, too. There was like an hour and a half weather delay in the middle of the game.
I don't know.
It's a weird game, but you shut out a, not that bad team.
And they weren't great.
Okay.
I called this. I said, what's one of the hardest places to go and win a game? The Swamp. And he said, no, they're going to go and they're going to blow them out. No,
Okay.
No.
To be fair, it was a great game.
It was. Absolutely
It was a great
fantastic game.
Anthony Richardson was fantastic. I mean, he basically led Florida to a win. But what I can't get over the fact that Utah didn't run the ball on the 3 or 4 yard line with like 20 seconds left.
Oh yeah, we can't play this.
I understand you didn't have any timeouts.
If ever in doubt, go ask Russell Wilson. He'll tell you.
Here's the problem though. This is what IU did against Illinois. They were in the same spot, like first and pause it real quick. Okay, so they got first and goal or second and goal from the 6 yard line. Here's what you do. Everyone, Florida thinks it's a pass. They got 1, 2, 3, 4. Here, pause it. They got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this guy's gonna drop back 2. They're dropping 7 into coverage. Here's what you do. They drop back, line rushes up, QB draw. You're going to have either an easy touchdown or you're going to get down to like the 1 or 2, and then you can run it again. That's exactly what IU did against Illinois. They dropped back, QB draw, got like a yard from the end zone, they ran it again, they scored.
The problem with this, though, is that Florida's rush defense, they knew.
They were running the ball on them all game.
100%. But they thought that, we've been running on them all game. They're going to be expecting it.
Play the clip.
Exactly. They all drop back. Even one of the linemen, he drops back, I think. Oh, no, he doesn't.
They rushed 4. See, run right there. Touchdown. They threw it.
And it was a beautiful play.
And here's the thing. Even if you get sacked for like a loss or some shit, just spike the ball, kick the field goal, go to overtime.
I know. I was with you on this. But, I was super
I don't know what they were doing.
They just want to go for the win. And that's why Utah is not going to make the freaking playoffs, as I told you. Utah doesn't have the
There's
experience
a
to make
chance, but a lot of things would have to happen.
No, because now you're telling me that they're going to beat Georgia out for a playoff spot.
No. What would need to happen is no one from the ACC would have to make it, and
that's not going to happen.
Georgia would have to lose. There would be a few things. I don't think it will happen.
No.
It can, though, but it probably won't.
It will
and
not.
Florida would need to have a good year. Florida would need to go like 10-2.
Because you want to know who my sleeper team is and a possible team that could possibly still make the playoffs?
I agree, actually.
We could see 2 Big Ten teams and 2 SEC teams. Possible.
Okay.
If Georgia just surprises everybody and goes
Florida,
up to the SEC.
I still kind of want to... Okay, go back to this game. The Pac-12 suffered a death blow on Saturday. Your conference is dead. You had a chance.
You had 2 top 15 teams.
You had 2.
And they both lost.
You had 2 chances.
The first one, Oregon, I give it to them. Everybody knew they were, except for you, knew that they were going to lose.
Oregon deserves way more.
No.
Way more.
No, not when you lose to an unranked team. No. What I'm saying is that Oregon, everybody knew they were going to lose to Georgia. That wasn't a surprise. But this, when you have the 7th ranked team and one of the best offenses in general as they showed, and you lose.
Actually, they lost to the 12th ranked team.
Now.
They didn't lose to an unranked team. They lost to the 12th ranked team.
Florida was not ranked.
What are they now?
Now they are.
So they lost to the 12th ranked team.
That's like just saying that. Oh well, technically.
That's
Oregon,
how the resume is.
So you're telling me that. So you're telling me that Oregon should get all the everything lost because they were an unranked team that played against the second team in the country.
Oh, that's not okay.
No, because that's what you're saying.
You're not letting me talk. Okay, this loss is not that bad. Oh, you lost to a good team on the road by 3 points. Okay, scroll up.
Okay,
scroll up.
So you're telling me
this is an embarrassment.
No, so you're
this is an embarrassment to
you lost. You lost to the second ranked team in the country on the road. By that bad.
See, look. Oh, they lost to the second ranked team in a close, hard fought game.
Correct.
Oh, Utah lost to it. No one's like mad at Utah besides me over that last play. This is an embarrassment.
But the difference is everybody knew that this was going to happen. There's no embarrassment here.
The spread was 17 points. They lost by 46.
It doesn't matter. Everybody knew they were going to lose. Everybody knew it. After the first quarter, after Georgia scored, they went up 7-0. Everybody knew it was going to be a blowout. There was no reason for anybody to go, oh, man, Oregon's really going to get it. Everybody thought Utah was going to win except for a select few.
The spread was like 3 points.
And the Utah game, no, it was like 10.
No, it was not.
Yes,
Go to
it
the
was.
Game. It was 3 points.
It was like 10.
Go to the bottom.
Unless it changed at the end.
Utah was favored by
2.5. So they changed it because everybody knew that Florida was going to win.
So think about this. If you're basing this on how well they did against expectations.
Okay.
They were favored by 2. They lost by 3. That means they performed 5 points under what they were expected to do. Oregon was favored to lose by 17 and lost by 46.
Doesn't matter. There's a difference. You can't think of it like that because see the thing is everybody still thought Utah was going to win. Everybody still thought Oregon was going to lose. You're comparing losing to winning in 2 different sides. You can't do that. That's like me saying that.
If Oregon would have gone out and lost to Georgia by like 10, oh, okay. They had a hard
But everybody knew that wasn't realistic.
Was,
everybody knew that.
Not everyone thought Utah was going to win.
Almost everybody.
No.
Yes.
No.
More people than
There were
not. Utah had like
people.
a 69 or like 70% chance of winning. Oregon had like a 20.
Okay. If you're going... Okay. You're telling me... Okay, so you're telling me that losing by 3 to a good team on the road is less embarrassing than getting slapped by 46 points?
I think that losing... Yeah, I think if you're a team that... How Oregon is even ranked to begin with, I don't know. If you're unranked... So, for instance, if we were to go in right now, Indiana, go play Ohio State and Ohio State, which we will later this year, and we lose by 35, do you really think we're going to be embarrassed? No!
Oregon's ranked 11th in the country.
They're not anymore. You know why? They're not even ranked. Because everybody... How they were
Because they
even...
got their ass kicked!
Because nobody... They shouldn't have been ranked in the first place. Everybody knew
Well,
that.
we know that now because they got their ass kicked!
Exactly. So it's not really embarrassing because it's not like anybody expected anything from Oregon. Just like they're not expecting us to beat Ohio State.
Whatever.
Now, maybe for the players on Oregon, yeah, they're like, dang, we shouldn't have gotten blown out that much. We could have played better. We could have worked harder. But fans, we're not sitting there going, man, we're going to beat Georgia today.
But they're like, hopefully we'll make it a competitive game. Nobody thought it would be this bad.
I thought they would win by at least 3 scores. Way more than the spread.
Eddie, that's 7 scores.
Yeah, 7 scores.
7 scores.
Okay.
That's twice as bad. That's over twice as bad as you thought.
The
spread was 3 scores.
Also, correct.
They were expected to lose by 3 scores. They lost by 7.
Also, you're still playing the national champion. So even more stuff to
without almost their entire team.
With a team that's just as good.
Well, yeah, but still.
And coaching that is one of the best. You're playing with a team of what I mean. Think about it. Oregon lost half their players. They're a bunch of sophomores.
Pitiful display.
It's a pitiful display if you look at it from a certain angle. But also, most of the Oregon team is sophomores. A lot of Georgia is juniors and seniors, and they're national champions. This game is just. It's not necessarily embarrassing for Utah, but they should have won that game. I didn't think they would, but they should have won that game. They're the 7th ranked team in the country playing up against an unranked team that was just riding their crowd. If you put this game in Utah, I don't think Florida wins. But they were riding the crowd. They're not a better team. They are now because I think they've started to learn that they can play together.
These two teams are both very good and both match each other very well.
But what I'm saying is you can't say that Oregon should be embarrassed because they lost.
They are embarrassed. You lose 49-3, you should be embarrassed.
The players are embarrassed, and the fans are probably like, dang, why did we lose that bad? But as a team, they're sitting there going, well, we scored 3 points on the national champions. Now, do they want to score more? Should they have done better? Do they probably are like, damn, we really shouldn't have lost that game? 100%. And they were like, damn, we should have lost that game by 46. 100%. But nobody goes to play the national champions and goes, if we lose here, we're going to be completely embarrassed, even if we lose by this much.
Okay.
I'm telling you that right now. Do you really think that Utah State is embarrassed that they lost to Alabama 55-0? No.
Because Utah had no sort of expectations. Oregon was at least supposed to be somewhat good this year.
No.
When you're the 11th ranked team, nobody should be beating you by 46 points.
Where's it at?
What, the percent chance to win?
Yeah. See where it's at.
Okay.
They were given it was like an 85% chance Georgia won. Nowhere even close. Utah was like 60.
I don't understand how you think being ranked 11th in the country and losing 49 to... When was the...
Again, I'm not saying that they shouldn't be like, they shouldn't lose.
When was the last time a top 12 team lost to anyone by over 40 points?
When was the last time that a top 12 team that shouldn't have been a top 12 team actually had to do that? Because everybody knew Oregon should not be 11th in the country. Nobody but Oregon fans believe this. Even some of the professionals go, why are we putting them at 11th in the country? Just because they had a good season last year doesn't mean you should be ranked the next year.
Didn't even have a good season last year.
They had a decent season. They went like 8-4. And then they got a couple of new players that were considered to be really high prospects, and everybody was like, oh, put them at 11, they'll do good. No, they won't. They're Oregon. They haven't been good since freaking Justin Herbert and Marcus Mariota. They haven't. And they still were not good. The one year they were good, they had Marcus Mariota, and they beat Ohio State. That was it.
Well, we know they're not good now.
Exactly. I knew that before this game. I said they shouldn't be ranked, and you were like, "No, they're gonna beat Georgia."
Who
No,
did you have winning when USC played Oregon?
Which win?
Like in our preseason video.
I don't remember. I think I had USC winning.
But you're like, these are two comparable level.
They're two comparable level teams because what does USC always do? What do they always do?
Suck.
They suck against teams that are considered to be good. Considered. It gets in their head. Oregon's barely going to win any games.
Let's go past this. All right, what else we got?
We already talked about this. Michigan, everybody.
Okay, no. There's one specific thing in the QB battle. McNamara looked
everybody knew.
McNamara looked like garbage.
Yes, and everybody
he
keeps praising his name.
Trash.
And I don't know why. Because if we look at the stats,
the defense and the run game and everything was great.
Yeah, because it's like
McNamara was garbage. 9 of 18.
And he had one touchdown. His QB rating was a 39.7.
They put McCarthy and he went 4 for 4.
Yeah,
and had a rushing touchdown.
I think Bowman was better though. Just in general.
Well, Bowman's not going to play.
I know, but I just think that overall, just like passing wise as a QB, they want to have a more like dual threat quarterback.
However, what's going to happen is McCarthy is going to tear apart
100%
Hawaii, and then
they're going to start him. But it's going to take that much for them to do that. Right. So yeah. That game was just kind of a warm up for Michigan, and I can see us having two Big Ten teams in the playoffs this year.
We'll talk about that,
which we will. But
here's what I'm saying right now. Here's what I'm saying right now. You're talking about how Ohio State is still this amazing team.
They are.
I am way more confident now about Michigan's chances of beating Ohio State now.
I'm not. You
than
again
I did before.
are talking about this third-ranked team in the country that played the fifth-ranked team in the country, and they had a good game, and you're telling me that sucks. Okay.
No, they won. They looked good, but they didn't look as good as a lot of people thought they would be.
Okay, so
and Michigan is looking a lot better than people thought they would be.
This is the person that had Utah in their playoff spot, and they were playing against an unranked team. They didn't look as good as everybody thought they would look. So it's not that. I'm telling you right now, Michigan is not beating Ohio State.
I didn't say they were. I'm saying their chances their odds look better now than they did before week 1.
Yeah. Because that's
all I was saying.
But you want to know why? Because what did the coach say? We're not going to tell you who the starting quarterback is because we're going to play 4 different quarterbacks across the whole season. Because Jim Harbaugh never knows. He's a great coach, but he's like, we'll get to it when we get to it. And it's like, no, you got to find a quarterback. We talked about
the Ohio State.
About the trust.
Okay, about the Ohio State Notre Dame game. You thought Ohio State would cover the 17.5?
Yes.
Okay, so did I. Do you think it's because, what do you think is this more of a factor? Because, okay, so obviously... No, let me finish. Is Notre Dame better than we thought they were? Or is Ohio State not as good as we thought they were? Or is it a little bit of both?
In my opinion, for the first game, it's a little bit of both. But that's because, again, Smith went out. The Irish's D-line was better than anybody thought they were going to be. You know that as well as I do. They got pressure on Stroud quickly.
They did.
And even Stroud was like, what the hell is happening?
No, they did.
But yet still, Stroud played, I would say, a fairly decent game considering what he was given.
The Ohio State defense looked good.
The Ohio State defense looked great. So it's not that the Ohio State team is worse than we thought. It's that they had a mindset going into the game that they were going to be playing against an average Irish team. And that D-line quickly adjusted that. And that offense was okay for the first half. And then they just didn't do anything. The offense looked okay. No, Irish their offense looked okay in the first half, and then it was like,
Ohio State's offense was...
Ohio State's offense in the first half was not
for the whole
good.
game, they weren't good.
They came together in the second half.
14 points going.
Yeah, but they scored 14 unanswered because they had 2 really solid deep drives.
21 points is not a good offensive performance.
It is when you play against the 5th-ranked team in the country.
In college football.
When you play against 2 top 5 teams...
Yeah, and then Georgia played the 11th-ranked team in the country and put up 49 points.
Okay, again, we already talked about this. Oregon should not have been 11th in the country. They don't act like it. They don't have the team for it.
Good for Oklahoma. You do this every year. You beat up on a nobody and think you're doing something this year. You're not.
They're still going to finish top 10.
I doubt it.
This is the team that you want to talk about that's not going to finish top 10. This is going to be this team. You think they're going to be better than Oklahoma?
Okay,
they did really good in their first
they
game
also
against Albany.
They also beat up on a no. I will say though, there are a lot of teams that played nobodies and looked garbage. Hence our next game.
Yeah, this one.
What the hell happened? Okay,
and it's because they missed it. Didn't they miss an extra point?
I pinned this game on a tee. I told you. I said East Carolina is going to put this game uncomfortably close, and they might win it.
Yeah, they weren't going to.
And that's what they did.
No,
they should have won it. NC State didn't win the game. East Carolina lost the game.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's 100% it.
They should have won the game. And this
agree.
is the team that you're talking about going to the ACC title game and beating Clemson.
Okay, really? Your team almost lost to West Virginia, so I don't want to hear it.
Oh my God. My goodness. That's not even it. No, that's not even it. There's more. How do you... Bro. You are on... Bro, take his scholar. This is even worse.
He missed 2.
You are a scholarship kicker. You can't make an extra pointer with 30-yard field goal. My goodness. That should have been the upset of the week.
And also, I just want to point out, he's talking about that, and I just want to point out his team that he has going all the way to the championship almost lost to West Virginia, if we want to go back to that game
What
just
team?
really
Pitt?
quick. Pitt, which I don't remember.
West Virginia's a whole lot better than East Carolina.
What are you talking about? They let freaking West Virginia put up 31 points. 31 points.
NC State only scored 21.
Okay. But I would rather only score 21 and only allow 20 than put up...
They should have allowed 24!
31 points. 31. Against a team that doesn't even have a complete... They got JT Daniels.
So you're telling me this looks worse than beating East Carolina by 1?
I think that the fact that they allowed West Virginia to score 31 points on their defense when apparently their defense is supposed to be regarded as one of the top defenses, according to
never said they were one of the top.
No, not
defenses.
you. Just in general, people are saying, "Oh, Pitt's got such a great, well-rounded team. Their defense is really good. Their offense is really good." And you allow West Virginia to put 31 points.
The reason both of these games are close is they're both big rivalry games.
I understand that, but even if you get out with a win, now I'm not saying either game looks good. They both are embarrassing, really, when you think about it. But because this is one of those situations.
But here's the thing about this game. The Pitt-West Virginia game, that was a back-and-forth game. East Carolina should have won this game, and they missed 2 field goals within 30 yards.
Okay, it's also East Carolina. What do you expect?
That is a college scholarship kicker. You can't make an extra point.
Who's going to East Carolina?
Bruh,
a scholarship kicker who's going to East
high school kickers can make that.
Yeah, and they also don't have as big of a toxic atmosphere and a big pressure moment like that. When you play in high school,
extra point. I am sorry, it is a 19-yard kick.
When you play in high school, what's the worst you're gonna feel in the morning? Is somebody putting a slushie in your face? When you're a scholarship kicker, what's the worst thing? You can't make the NFL. 2 totally different types of pressure.
That guy wasn't making the NFL to begin with.
You'd be surprised.
Take his scholarship away.
USC, this and no, everybody expected. And okay, and these are the people that said that USC is going to lose to Oregon. Really?
Tied at the end of the first quarter with Rice.
And then we 24-28.
Okay, yeah. They looked good, but they played a nobody.
Yeah, well,
another team. Okay, this
This
it is hard to score. I'm telling you right now, I'm more confident.
I told you Miami was going to be one of the top teams.
So you said Miami would be better than Pitt.
Yes.
I mean,
told you that.
It is the Buffoons, but you know what?
70 points in an opener?
I don't think we've seen Miami look this good in a while. So good for Miami.
They look good. They look really
good for Miami. They looked good, and basically no one else in the ACC looked good.
No.
Besides like maybe Florida State. And we'll talk about
how Florida State won that game. I still don't.
Okay, Wisconsin. Okay, good defense. Pitched a shutout against Illinois State. Not really much else to talk about there. Sorry.
Sometimes I get notifications.
Okay, this is a good game. This is a really good game. Back and forth game between Arkansas and Cincinnati. Cincinnati actually held.
Did you just skip Wisconsin?
I talked about them when you were on the
phone. Well, no, but I mean, like... Okay, I want to talk about this just for one reason. Because people... Now, 38-0, they should have won this game by more, really, when we think about it. It's a Big Ten team going up against Illinois State. Everybody thought they would win this by a lot more. But
One way stake it probably.
If they don't win their side of the division or get closer to win
The West.
they won't necessarily win it.
They're
I don't
for
think
sure
they
the
will.
best team in the West.
They are.
Because Purdue. A bad look for the Big Ten West is when
Purdue
people thought was the best team in the Big Ten West loses to the fourth best team in the Big Ten East.
What one of the best people thought was one of the best Big Ten teams in the West.
Well, that's what pretty much everyone thought it was going to be either them or Wisconsin.
No, I thought it was Wisconsin or Penn State. I didn't
Penn
think
State's
they-
not in the West.
Oh, that's right, they're not. Well, they keep changing all the freaking divisions, and it makes me mad. But no, I didn't even think Purdue had a chance. I think Purdue maybe win. I think they have them going 8-4. That's not enough.
All right.
I think
Cincinnati,
Wisconsin- anyway.
Arkansas.
This one everybody thought was going to be this close, and it was. I thought it was going to be
Sure
close. It was a good game.
Arkansas
And-
will be a good team.
I think
They will make a run. I think they can make a run at the SEC West. I don't think they'll win, but
Tell me I'm wrong, but at this point in the third quarter, when they scored 17 points, you know that Arkansas's coach was on the sideline
they're
shitting his
sweating.
pants.
They're sweating.
He was shitting his pants. He was like,
Yeah, he was-
freaking Christ,
he was
we're about to lose this. And then they scored that extra field goal, or that extra touchdown. and they got it,
Miami, Ohio. I mean, I'm
but
not.
this should have been more.
Not impressed.
I'm impressed, obviously, because I think Kentucky is starting to prove themselves more. But this should have been more. This shouldn't have.
You want to talk about one that should have been more? Go
This
down.
next one, yeah.
This should have been more. 20 to Troy.
I mean, it wasn't ever close. Like they just didn't score in the fourth, but like they were up. Like there was no way they were winning. But like, yeah, this should have been more. I'm off the camera. This should have been more. There's no excuse. This one also.
Wow, what a
You want to
game.
talk about one of my most disappointing teams? Is this one? They won on 2 points. 2 points.
You realize this is a
On a
team that
2-point
almost went undefeated last year and had probably the biggest home crowd in the history of their team.
Okay, that's fine.
It was a great game. Houston was
Houston-
favored by 4. They won by 2.
Exactly, and I don't think that Houston.
This was a great game.
I don't think that Houston should be a top 25 team. I didn't think they should at the beginning either. Just like Oregon, I think that they're a
Nah.
little overrated.
I
think there are
agree.
teams that are better.
Okay,
This one, I don't know why they're top 25. They beat Southern Florida. Congratulations.
I thought this would, to be honest, this game could have been like, look, they have 28-0 at the end of the first quarter. This was impressive.
Yeah, it was impressive, but also again, it's
South Florida, I picked South Florida covers, but that was a good game.
Yeah, it was good.
This is monumental because it is hard for UConn to beat anyone.
Exactly.
So good
good
on
for you,
you.
Utah.
What
Iowa,
the hell?
Okay.
What?
By the way, this one said that the Iowa's going to beat some like massive teams at home, and they barely beat.
Remember
South
when I
Dakota
told you that
State.
South Dakota State would keep the
Also,
game close?
they
and you
had
said,
two
no
safeties.
way. And you said, no way they're keeping the game close.
Also, again, I don't even care about this. You're over here saying they're going to beat like Ohio State and Wisconsin at home.
No.
Also, when you win because you scored 2 safeties.
I'm so upset
How-
they got another one because it would have been funny if the score was 5. Or if you take this field goal away, they
Wait,
would
does
have
this flow on the one thing that we were watching?
No, because 7-3 is a common score.
That's true.
But if it would have been like
5.
4-3, that would have been like monumental.
Oh, that's crazy.
We had a chance for some monumental college football score. God, man, you blew it!
This one, I already knew.
But go back up. They might have the worst offense in the country.
Yep.
Their defense might be top 10 in the country, and their offense is bottom 10 in the country. Like, bad.
I told you they weren't winning this year anymore.
But their defense can keep them in any game, and that's something that
No, obviously not. They allowed 3 points, and their offense only got them 7.
Here's
When
the
you
thing.
play Ohio State, you're going to give up at least 10. When you play Wisconsin, you're probably going to give up at least 10. You know, when you play big teams, you're going to give up at least 10, even if you have the best defense in the game.
Maryland, I mean,
Everybody
good
knew
job.
they'd win. I mean, that's nothing big.
Rutgers.
This
You
one
know
was
what?
close.
Good for them.
I thought Boston College would
It
win.
is
I
hard
give it to them.
it is hard for Rutgers to beat a Power 5 team on the
100%.
road,
And
and
yeah.
they went out and did it.
And they-
so you
they-
know what? Good job.
No, I'll give it to them. This one.
The anti-Iowa South Dakota State. What the hell?
Can we talk about this? 40 points in the fourth quarter.
What? This
40.
game. Okay, you know what was wild about this game is it was like your typical back and forth game. You know, go to the scoring summary.
That's what I'm going. I'm pissed.
You know, it's
Play by
fine.
play.
Actually.
No, I want to go to play by play because I want to see how quickly they scored each touchdown. in that quarter.
Here's the thing. It was what? So they scored. Go to the bottom. Go to the very bottom.
Yeah, no, I think it's backwards.
No, because I want to talk about something. Go to the bottom. So they scored a touchdown, and then they went for go back. So they scored a touchdown, and then they went for 2 to take the lead, and they didn't get it. So it was 56-55. They tried to go for the touchdown to win the game. They didn't get it. So they went for the onside kick. UNC got it and took it all the way back to the house. And the announcer goes, "Oh, game's over now." And I'm like, they should not have scored. They should have just downed it and then kneeled. But now you're giving App State the ball back in an 8-point game, and they marched the length of the field in 2 plays, 48 yards, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
And they had another 2-point chance, and they blew it again.
But think about, look at this. This is insane. Look at this. Hang on.
How do you score 40 points?
Into the second quarter. This is the second half. In the second half alone, which, by the way, they didn't score it all in the third, so this is all fourth quarter for App State. They had turnover and downs, so an interception that they got, or that they threw. But then they scored 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tutties. And they only gave up, 22 points? And 13.
Hold on.
So
So that you said 6 touchdowns?
6 touchdowns.
So that's a touchdown every 2.5 minutes.
Yep.
But here's the thing. Let's say they only have the ball for half that time.
Well, yeah.
That's a touchdown every minute 25 they had with the ball.
Yeah, no, because their first touchdown came with 9:33.
And they didn't win.
Their first touchdown came with 9:33. Then they scored it. It took 9 minutes and 33 seconds. Then they scored it in 1:33. And then they scored one in 2:01. Then in 1:10. Then in 2:19, and then in 10 seconds.
The problem is that UNC is also scoring touchdowns in this time.
They scored well. They didn't score very many.
But
They scored 2.
if you scored 40 points in the fourth quarter, I want. How many games? Okay, how many games have there been when a team has scored 40 in not any quarter? And I bet you those teams are undefeated in those games.
100%. I mean, I don't see.
Not App State. 40 points in the fourth quarter and a giant L.
Most of these we're not really going to talk about. Navy did lose, which we were kind of shocked about. It wasn't really
The
that
Blue
funny.
Hens.
Virginia
Man.
beat Richmond. I told you they would. And
Good job.
This
Air Force will be good. Didn't give up points till garbage.
Everybody thought that would happen.
Iowa State, Iowa next week. Who wins?
Iowa State, Iowa State.
I'm thinking Iowa.
After our 7-3 performance? Are you serious?
They'll figure it out.
They won't.
They'll defend.
Yeah, you're right. They'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to score 10 points next time. And then Iowa State will still score more than that.
Did you see the UCLA fan section?
Yeah.
Nobody came.
Nobody did.
To the game. Nobody came.
Nobody.
UCLA, you're supposed to have a pretty good team this year, and nobody came.
It's probably because they knew who they were playing. I mean, if we weren't.
IU played a terrible team. Place was packed.
It was a Big Ten team though. It was a Big Ten team that was 1-0.
This next game, man. Wow.
Told you Arizona would win. I told you.
Good job, Arizona.
Told you.
You know what? I thought you
Props.
weren't going to win a single game, and you won a game. Good job.
Told you. And see, I deserve credit.
Good on you, Arizona. Good job.
Nebraska wins. Wow. Can we give them a round of applause?
No, they don't. No.
They're gonna go 1-11. 1-11.
They don't deserve anything. Hey, Marshall
Marshall?
plays Notre Dame next week.
Yeah, they do.
Wow.
Yeah, well, we never know.
This was a good game.
Wyoming.
Double overtime, 40-37. Good for Wyoming.
Yeah, good for them. California won. Nobody's shocked. South. I think this is a stupid game. Everybody hates that game. Nevada beat Texas State. Not huge. Georgia Southern. Most of these games are just kind of ones that are throwaway. This one was close. I don't know why. FAU is really not that good of a team ever.
FAU probably should have won that game.
No, I think
FAU was
Ohio is usually pretty good. James Madison beat Middle Tennessee really badly. Holy crap. It was bad. I just remember seeing
When was
this.
the last time an FCS team beat a FBS team?
I don't know.
That badly?
This one, I told you that Auburn was going to show out this year, and they're going to show out.
Not going to show out this year. You do okay. I'm gonna go. You want to know what's happening in their thing? So
There's going to be a lot of good teams.
hold on. Let me talk. So Brian Harsin, the coach that they hired from Boise State, came out last year, had a disappointing last year. No one thought he was good. And then they had the whole scandal of him bringing the assistant from Boise State that he was banging in the locker room or something like that.
They always have those stupid scandals.
The boosters at Auburn are so the boosters think they run the program.
Okay.
And they're pressuring him so much. So finally, what they're trying to do, like fire Brian Harsin. Anyway, so the athletic director was the only person that had Brian Harsin's back. The athletic director was like, I'm standing by my guy. But in the back of his mind, he knows he's not that good of a coach, but he has to publicly be like, I stand by him. Before the season,
I'm telling you right now, the
athletic director is at the end of his contract is wondering if he's going to get an extension. They're like, well, we're going to judge whether or not you get an extension by the football team's performance. And he knows they're not going to be good, so he's like, I quit. Brian Harsin is not going to have a good year, and
telling
he's
you right
going to
now-
get fired.
No, I'm
and
telling you right
Auburn
now.
will not make a bowl game.
The only reason, Auburn will make a bowl game.
No, they won't.
The only reason that
No.
Auburn will not be ranked or will not really have much above a winning record is because of the fact that they have a tough division. They always do. They always
It
do.
will not be a good
They're gonna
team.
go 7-5 or 6-6. They're gonna go to a bowl.
Not a
game.
good team.
It's better than half the other teams we're talking about. A lot better. You're over here saying that Iowa's gonna go to a big bowl game.
Iowa's better than Auburn.
Not after that performance.
I mean, Auburn's not a good team.
Auburn is a good team. They're not like great
No,
compared,
they're not.
but they're gonna go at least 500,
Beat
maybe a little more.
Mercer, just
Vanderbilt
like-
barely beating Elon is kind of.
You know what? Hey,
Kind of
if
depressing.
Vanderbilt won what they won two. They won
That's
two
2-0.
games last year. You know what? They lost to East Tennessee State last year. Good for Vandy.
Kansas State.
They have the most
nobody's
wins in
bad.
the SEC.
Yeah, because they played two crappy teams. I know. Kansas State 1-0. We all thought they would beat South
Good job.
Carolina.
They played
Coastal Carolina. I told you this is closer than it should have been,
Good
but
game.
Coastal Carolina is
Army's
good.
not a bad team.
They're not, and Coastal Carolina is pretty good. This one, why? Why?
4 overtimes.
4 overtimes for Liberty and Southern Miss. Why?
Good job.
Good job on you.
Liberty.
Tulane beating UMass is kind of surprising.
Everyone beats UMass. How
No.
surprising.
Tulane's
UMass
not really that
went
good.
winless last year.
I know, but Tulane's just not good.
They're a hell of a lot better than UMass.
I guess, but still, by that much.
Louisiana, good job.
Yeah, not shocked there. Arkansas State, yeah.
My
freaking
God,
great.
Grambling.
Mississippi State beating Memphis. Actually, I think we both called that.
I told you, Mississippi State's gonna be a good team. They're gonna be better than Auburn.
I don't think they will.
They are a million times better than Auburn. Okay, this team
This one?
sucks. They're bad.
What, the Gamecocks?
They're bad.
I don't think so.
They are terrible.
They play
Spencer
really
Ratt. Okay, you want to know if okay,
They haven't been-
you're
yeah,
talking
Spencer
about
Rattler
you're talking about
is
how
really good,
you're talking
actually.
about how good Clemson is and how they're gonna be great.
They are going to be good.
Well, no, they're not.
They are.
DJ Uiagalelei had a QBR of 33
Okay.
against Georgia Tech. You know the only QB in the SEC that had a worse QBR than that? Spencer Rattler.
And you know what's so funny? Is
They
that
will
they're
not
both.
win.
They're
They-
both rated in the top 5 of all quarterbacks in the draft.
Okay, well, there doesn't mean they're going to be good college QBs.
You don't have to be a
Josh
good
Allen was on a good.
You don't have to. I'm just saying you right now. They don't have to be a good college QB because they know if they can make bank in the NFL.
We're not
they'll
talking
give
about
a
the
crap.
NFL. We're
I'm
talking
just
about
telling-
college football.
I'm just telling you right
They're
now.
not
they're still gonna
good.
go. They are good though.
He's not good.
They are good.
He sucks.
He doesn't.
He
Everybody-
does. He
every-
does suck.
he
He's
does
a
not.
terrible quarterback.
Spencer Radley is not.
Go to box score. Keep in mind this is against Georgia State.
Okay, he doesn't have a good team. He does not have a good team.
He had a good team in Oklahoma and he blew it too. Wow. A 28 QBR against Georgia State. That is
He had 2
putrid.
interceptions. 23 for 37.
You should not be throwing
27.
any interceptions against Georgia State.
Name the receivers. Yes, go ahead. Name them.
I don't know every receiver in South Carolina.
Because he doesn't have any good receivers. Ready? Here you go. Receiving. Jay Brooks.
He's good.
Okay, he had 88 yards. Cool.
It is
55.
Georgia State.
This is how bad the team is. They have 6 receivers.
Those guys should be a whole lot better than the
They're
DBs on Georgia State.
Okay.
And yes, they are.
Obviously not. Because
Obviously they are.
if you watch
Stop
the highlights,
defending him. He sucks.
No, if you watch the highlights, it's not. No, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have had a better game. 2 interceptions. You're right. Against that team, shouldn't really have happened. But if you watch that game, the corners for Georgia State actually played a really freaking good game. You can't always blame the good team for losing to a bad team. You have to give praise where it's due. They locked down those receivers very well. You can't always throw it on the better team. That's just like saying, oh, Alabama lost in the national championship to Georgia, so Alabama just sucks. No, Georgia knew how to defend them. Georgia did really good. You have to give praise where it's due.
Georgia State.
Georgia State locked down them enough to where they still... And you know what? Spencer Radley doesn't give a freaking crap about the stats. He gives a crap about the win. They won by 3 scores. That's all he cares about.
Okay, I didn't say that he doesn't care about the fact that they
But you
win.
can't
I'm
say
saying
he's a
that
bad
he
quarterback.
sucks.
Obviously
he
not.
is. He is.
No, he doesn't.
You should have a 28 QBR against Georgia State. That is unacceptable.
The only reason he has a 28
That's why his
QBR
ass
is
got
because of
benched last year, because he sucks and he's a prima donna and he is just bad.
No, this is the only reason he has a 28.6 QBR. You take that out and put it with 1, willing to bet his rating goes up to at least a 7.
Go to the next game. I'm
telling you right now.
Spencer Rattler. They play Arkansas next week and it's going to be bad.
It's not gonna be
Arkansas
bad.
is going to kill
When
them.
they win, I'm gonna laugh so hard in your face. You also have been, okay.
You think South Carolina's beating Arkansas?
I'm not saying that they necessarily will, but you have no room to talk about calling games anymore. You have called so many games wrong, it's ridiculous.
What? Oregon? That's
Oregon
it.
or Are you freaking out of your mind? Oregon, Florida.
Okay, I said it would be a close game with Utah.
You called Kansas wrong. You called
Because
Colorado
no one
wrong.
cares about Kansas.
You called Colorado wrong. You called what was the other one?
Got this game right. Got this game right. Got this game right.
Okay,
You got this
you
game
got this
right.
game right.
You got
You got
this
that one.
game right. Got this game right. You did not. You said they were going by 40 points with East Carolina. Good
That's not what I'm
team.
talking about. I'm talking about winning. You got this one. You said that this game was going to be super close.
No, I did
You
not.
said the
Bethune
Buffoons.
Cookman.
Yeah, you said that they were going
No,
to be
I
surprisingly
did
close.
not.
You this one you got right. This
one I got right.
You got that one right. This one I don't even think we talked about. This one you got right.
Told you this would be a close game. You said no.
This one, yeah. Well, that's because nobody really thought it'd be a close game.
So this would be a close game.
This
you
one,
said no.
Okay, no. This one you said that Iowa was going to win. They were going to be close, but you said that they were both going to go really high scoring.
No, I did not.
This one I think you got wrong. I think you said Buffalo was winning.
No.
This one
What?
we both got wrong. This one we
You
both got
literally.
wrong.
Oh, you had this game. I told you App State would play it close. No.
You said they were going to win. I know you did because I said North
It was a
Carolina.
2-point game. Chill out.
We also both said Navy. You said Richmond, I think. I said Virginia, and you said no way. But I mean, like, I'm just telling you, you called plenty of games that are like so
5
obvious.
games. You said 5 games. You were like, you picked that. No, I didn't.
Yeah, I know you did.
No, I didn't. I literally didn't. Okay, keep going. I'm not gonna argue with you anymore.
SMU, that wasn't really a big
Good
game.
job.
We already kind of knew that one. Stanford, we knew
Good
would win
job.
that.
Good
Texas
job,
Tech.
Texas Tech. Okay,
Texas.
funny story about this game. Quinn Ewers, the quarterback at Texas, his car got towed during the game.
Yes, Porsche. This tells you what they're doing with their money that they're getting from the freaking...
NIL money.
Oh, that too, but...
This is embarrassing. I'm sorry. Louisville. You should not be... Wow.
I don't know why everybody's getting them such praise.
Syracuse is like a 2-win team every year.
Okay, but everybody's always like, Louisville's going to win so big. No, they haven't been good since Lamar left.
They should be able to beat Syracuse.
Okay, but everybody's like, oh, Louisville's going to be a 6-7 win team. No, they're not. They're going to win maybe 2 games.
I had them going 5-7, but one of those 5 wins was against Syracuse.
I think I had them going like 3 wins. There's no way they win 5.
Syracuse is bad, and you got blown out by them.
They haven't won good since Lamar was there. Everybody knows
A
that.
shame, man.
New Mexico, Maine, everybody thought New Mexico would win that. It wasn't that
This
big.
game, though,
This
has
game is
me
great
a
for us.
Actually has me a little worried.
It doesn't have
Because Idaho actually probably should have won that game.
I don't know. I don't
And
think so.
Washington State's about on par with IU. Maybe IU's a little bit better, but...
I think they're a little better.
I
This
don't
one, we already called. We said Oregon State would win.
I thought
I
it'd be
told
a
you
little-
Washington would win against Kent
I
State.
thought this would be... I changed my mind. I said Washington.
Yeah, but you said that Washington is a terrible team.
They
they're not
are.
gonna score.
They're not a good team.
They're not a great team, but they put up 45 points. That's something. Still.
Right, it's Kent State.
Western Kentucky,
Wow.
that scares me.
Hawaii might be the worst team in the country.
Correct, but this still scares me that they do look good.
Wow, this next one. Wow.
I don't know how this happened.
Jesus.
Especially the fact that they won on the road.
This is embarrassing.
Okay, what was
This is embarrassing.
This is what happened like with IU. They scored a last-second touchdown.
Not even.
Or no, they blocked the kick.
No,
This is the one they blocked the kick. Right?
LSU, it was a... Florida State was a...
It was an extra point. They blocked the extra point.
Okay, I told you Brian Kelly's a bad coach and will do a bad job at LSU.
Okay, I watched your reaction video of this game. You thought that he missed it. He didn't miss it. He blocked it.
I was on the Skycam.
Oh,
I wasn't
okay.
on the actual broadcast. Because they...
How long is this? Oh.
So this would... Okay, pause it real quick. Okay, so what happened was Florida State was up... LSU, if you watched the game... Did you watch the game?
I watched part of it.
LSU looked like garbage.
Well, yeah, I could tell by the
they
box.
suck.
I can tell by the game cast they look terrible.
And Florida State was not supposed to be good this year. They were supposed to be like 5-7-ish. But they were murdering LSU. It was 24-10. LSU scored. Here, go back. Go back to when they were punting.
Well, no, because it's a 3-minute video.
Just go back to when they were punting. You just get...
Why?
Just go back to when they were punting. So... Alright, go back further. So, LSU scored, and then they muffed a punt. Go back to when he muffed it.
Out for Florida State tonight. LSU defense did their job when they had to do it. Fair catch is muffed again.
So at this point, game's over. No chance they have a chance.
And then they get flagged, I think, right?
No, just keep pressing like plus 10 seconds.
LSU has come up with it as
They fumble it on the 1-yard line.
It's just one of those crazy things that Owen fumble here down to goal line. Is there a chance LSU?
How did he not score?
He dropped the ball.
What are you talking about? Here?
No, you can't advance them off the punt.
Oh, that's right.
Is there a chance LSU is coming?
Okay, so keep going.
So anyway,
So then they march all the way down the field. The first good drive they have all game.
with 0 seconds left. And then this happens. By the way, Florida State really wanted it, because look at how quick these guys come off the end.
Well, yeah.
And everybody loses their they go
You know what?
apeshit.
Here's the thing. Florida State was not supposed to be a good team this year. They're supposed to be like,
They're
what,
not going to...
4-8, 5-7.
Okay, I'm telling you right now, Florida State is
But
not
you know
going to
what?
be a great team.
You know what? They blocked a field goal earlier in the game. LSU special teams, muff punt, blocked field goal, blocked extra point.
I'll tell you this, I don't think Florida State's going to be...
LSU is an embarrassment, and they're
Florida
just
State-
as bad as Auburn.
Florida State is not necessarily going to be a good team this year. I think LSU had a
No,
horrible
they're not.
game.
But you know what?
LSU had a
should've-
horrible game. I don't think LSU is a horrible team.
They are.
They had a horrible
They
game
are.
by far. I've never seen LSU play that bad in
They're
a long
full
time.
of a bunch of transfers. They don't know what to do, and they're all about to transfer out. LSU, Brian Kelly's a bad coach. They are
Brian
in
Kelly
trouble.
is not a bad coach.
Because that is one of the easiest teams they'll play all year.
That is not true.
Go to their
I'm
schedule.
telling you right now.
Hold on. Don't
Obviously, Florida State's
don't
good.
talk for a little bit, okay?
No, I'm gonna go through
Okay.
it right here.
Okay, no,
Already, I see 3 teams that are way
Okay,
harder.
hold
4
on.
teams.
Hold on. Okay, go. The only teams that I think are easier than Florida State
Their next 3 games.
is this game. No, Mississippi State is better
Easier.
than Florida State.
No, they're not. No,
Mississippi
they're
State's
not.
better than Florida State.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
New
You're telling
Mexico.
me not to talk?
Mouse.
Oh my
Okay.
Jesus.
This team. Okay, this is an easier game. This is an easier game. And this is an easier game. The rest of these teams, actually, this might be an easier game too. Because
No,
sucks.
literally the next 3 games are the easiest games they have. The next 3.
No,
Yes.
Mississippi State.
Auburn is harder than freaking Mississippi State. I'm telling you that right now. There is no way.
No, Auburn. Okay, Florida State. That should not have been a game they lost,
Agreed.
and they lost.
But now that I notice that Florida State's actually
LSU is
decent.
going like max 4-8.
Agreed. I said they were going. I think I said they were going 5-8 to begin with.
You had them like beating a bunch of teams.
I had them beating every team that wasn't ranked. So that's like 6-6, 5-8, or 5-7.
There are a lot of unranked teams that are about to beat LSU. Like
And their schedule.
like Mississippi State.
Mississippi State isn't going to beat them.
Yes, they will. Mississippi State is a good team.
I'm telling you right now.
They're a good, experienced team.
There you go. Can't see the stupid thingy. Okay.
Oh, this is also
Last
embarrassing.
Last one. How is that embarrassing?
Because it was a one-score game in the fourth quarter against Georgia Tech.
Okay. And then
That is
they
why.
still scored 17.
Clemson is not making the playoff, and they're not getting anywhere close. The ACC is so bad. Wake Forest was the only team in the ACC that looked like they were a good team, and it was the... Look, go to the ukulele. Wow. Terrible.
I don't think you have an idea of what terrible is. Yeah, he had a 39.4. That's because of the incompletion to completion.
Okay,
He still threw for 210 yards and a touchdown. Against Georgia Tech, yes. Should have been more.
Georgia State...
But that's still not a bad game.
Georgia State would beat Georgia Tech.
No, they wouldn't.
Georgia Tech is awful.
100%.
They have won 3 games the last 3 years, and they just
Okay.
like, oh, let's keep Jeff Collins around. And yet they almost won that game.
They did not almost win that
It
game.
was a 7-point game in the fourth quarter. Yes,
Okay.
they did. Watch the game.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
What is on the
matter.
box
It doesn't
score?
matter if they almost won. Almost winning doesn't mean shit.
Yeah,
almost
it does.
winning that- no,
When you
it
almost beat
doesn't.
the 4th-ranked team when you suck.
Almost winning doesn't matter. You know what does? Actually winning. And yet they still scored.
That
and
game
they
should
still
not have been
won
close.
by.
Game should not have been close.
They still won by freaking 31 points.
Okay.
That's how many scores?
This
Do we wanna
game,
say
this
about
game
it?
should have been. This game should have been out of
They
control.
won by 4. No, 5. Well,
This game
with
should have
2-point
been out of
conversions,
control.
4.
Go to the game summary. This game should have been out of control at halftime, and it was a 1-score game going into the fourth quarter. Georgia Tech hung around in this game, and they should not have.
Congratulations, they hung around in this game, and then they went and scored multiple.
Okay, they woke up. They woke up in the fourth quarter.
Okay,
But you're not going to be able to do that against a lot of teams in the ACC and win.
100%, I agree. But I'm telling you right now that again, everybody always goes, "Oh, this is the first game of the season. How they play here is going to determine how they play." That's not always the case.
I'm sure.
Now,
They
100%.
can improve, but I'm telling you, this is a red flag.
Okay. You also, once again, I'm not going to take everything you say for true because you had Utah making the playoffs and they lost to Florida in the first game. So again, I understand what you're saying. I agree that being that close in the fourth quarter is a red flag for Clemson. But also, they won by 31 points, so it's really not like you're over here going, this is an embarrassment. No,
Go
it's
to
really
their
not.
schedule.
It's really not.
Go to their schedule.
Okay, willing to bet they're still going to go, they're going to win.
They're for sure not beat Wake Forest
They
now.
for sure, they're literally winning.
Because Wake Forest played a team about as
there
good
are
as
two
Georgia
teams
Tech.
here that they maybe lose to.
Losing to Notre Dame.
I don't know. They should, but then they lose to maybe Miami. Maybe. Other than that, they're winning every single game.
I'm just saying it doesn't look like they're making the playoff or coming anywhere.
If they win all but one, they lose to Notre Dame or Miami, one or the other, they make the playoffs.
No, because
Yes.
then
They will only be a one-loss team.
yeah, except there's gonna be more SEC teams making it, like A&M or Georgia.
Depends on how much.
Right now, if I had to bet on the playoff, I would say Bama, Georgia, A&M, and the winner of the Ohio State-Michigan game. Which, to be honest, is a coin flip.
I actually don't. I think that if Michigan's only loss is to Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game, I think they both make it.
Or in that one, because they wouldn't play the Big Ten championship. They would play. The
They'd
winner
play- yeah.
goes to the Big Ten.
But I'm
So
telling you right
between-
now.
So you're saying it between.
No, I
Michigan.
think that if Michigan's only loss is to Ohio State in the year, then they still make it.
It would
Because you would rather have. Let's be realistic. If it's A&M or Michigan, you'd rather have a Big Ten team or an ACC team.
It'd be a.
They would pick Big
It'd
Ten.
be a big debate.
Correct, but you all know who they're picking.
They pick A&M
No, I don't think they would. I think they'd take the Big Ten team.
because the playoff is run by ESPN, and ESPN has a TV contract with the SEC.
Correct, but
So they would
I'm telling
take
you right
A&M.
now, I
They
don't
would
think they
take
would.
A&M.
Don't think they would.
I think it'd be an interesting conversation, though.
But yeah, that's all the games. I mean,
Hold on, go.
what do you mean?
This is going to be a massacre.
You say that, I think it's going to be a lot.
Will not be close.
No, I don't think that Texas is going to win by any stretch, but I don't think it's going to be as close as like far apart as people think it is.
49-17.
Now, like these, agreed. These are going to be massacres. This one, Arkansas State, and like these are going to be
There
massacres.
are no good games besides
This one,
Bama,
maybe.
Texas, and Pitt and Tennessee. And
I don't think
BYU.
that's true.
There are 3 good games, and it's Bama, Texas.
App State and Texas A&M.
No,
Tennessee and Pitt.
that's the second good game, and then the third one is BYU and Baylor.
I don't know about that. I think Texas Tech and Houston will be good.
Okay.
Florida and Kentucky
Oh
will
yeah.
be really good.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I think that
That's it.
Baylor and BYU could be decent.
That's what I said.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that one. But let's just real quick before we move on to fantasy and some other stuff. Let's just go through the rankings.
I agree with Georgia.
I agree with the top 3.
You could have put honestly. So here's what I would do. You could put these 2 1 or 2. It really doesn't matter which order, whichever one.
No, I think that
Whichever one.
Bama goes first in November.
Whichever one tickles your fancy.
I think that Ohio State.
I would
should be
put in my next clump of teams. I'm gonna go tiers. In my top tier, I have Bama and Georgia. You can flip them, do whatever you want. In the next tier of teams, I got Ohio State, I got Michigan, I got A&M. I think those 3 are in a tier of their own. And then in the next tier, scroll down a little bit. I got Notre Dame, I got Baylor, I got USC, Clemson, Oklahoma State, Florida, and Utah,
I don't think.
and Miami. Put Miami in there.
I think
And then
Utah
after,
should be
and then
good.
after that, Arkansas, Pitt, in that.
No.
If I had to make a top 10 right now, here's what I would do. I would go. Go down a little bit more. All right, I'd probably put USC at 10. Actually, no, I'd put Notre Dame at 10. Actually, no. Yeah, I go Notre Dame at 10, USC 9, Baylor 8. Actually, no. Actually, I probably wouldn't have Oklahoma in my top 10. I'd go Oklahoma State 10, USC 9. Actually, no, I'd have Notre Dame 10, USC 9, Baylor 8. You know what? It doesn't matter. I wouldn't have Clemson or Oklahoma.
You're out of your mind if you're putting Baylor at 8 in the country. You're out of your mind. Baylor is not even probably going to finish in the top 15. I'm telling you that right now. Looking at how many teams are starting to come up right now, Miami, Michigan State, Florida, Utah.
Just because they played a nobody in one doesn't mean they're bad.
I didn't say they're bad, but I'm telling you right now,
The
Baylor,
best team in the Big 12.
you put congratulations. You're the best team in the Big 12 because Utah lost to Florida. I'll give them that.
All right,
It was a
let me
decent
start
game.
from the top. I would go.
I think that most of this
Honestly, I think Georgia looked like the best team.
I don't.
I'd go. Okay, I'll go Georgia 1, Bama 2. I'd go Ohio State 3, Michigan 4, A&M 5, Baylor 6, USC 7, Notre Dame 8, Clemson 9, Oklahoma State 10, Did I say USC? Yeah, that'd be...
Okay, so I want to give you mine. The fact that now he's putting Baylor at 6 is just making me laugh.
Hey, they're better than that team.
First off, I just want to point out...
Hold on. They're better than that team. 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 They're better than that team.
I don't think that they're better than that. They're not better than this team. They're not better than this team. They're not better than both of these teams.
Miami.
They're not better than
I think it's hard to judge, but I mean, we'll see what happens when they play BYU, but they will beat BYU.
That's going to be a toss-up. I think that if anybody is going to beat them, because they don't really have a hard schedule this year at all, it's going to be BYU. They don't have a hard schedule.
Baylor or BYU?
Baylor doesn't have a hard schedule.
They play Oklahoma, they play Oklahoma State.
And they're going to lose to both of them. Telling you that right now.
No way.
First off,
no way.
I just want to say I think it's hilarious how people are now all of a sudden, now that Georgia actually played a good game, everybody's like, oh my God, Georgia's winning it again. Before they're like, oh, Georgia sucks, they're not going to win shit this year. And now everybody's taking a turn.
I didn't know how well they would reboot their team, and clearly they did it pretty well.
I'm telling you right now, I knew that they were going to be good, but I don't think they're making the playoffs for one reason. Because, A, they're going to face Alabama, which means they're at least going to lose.
Losses going into that game unless they lose to Florida.
Which,
they're not losing.
Possibly. But either way, you're right. So they lose one game to Bama. This team's going undefeated. Who are they going to lose to?
Go to their schedule.
Michigan is the only one that people say they're going to lose to. And they don't even play Michigan this year. Yeah, they play Michigan
lose
last
to IU.
They're not going to lose to IU at home.
Hey,
are you out of your
I'll
mind?
tell you one game that does look like kind of a tough game is this one.
What? This?
At Penn State? No. That's not going to be an easy game.
This is the only other one that I can say they lose on the road.
Both those games.
They're home against Michigan. They're going to win.
But between Michigan, Michigan State, and Penn State, they'll lose one of those three. I don't know who it'll be to, but they'll lose one of those three.
They go 12-0. So either way, they go 12-0.
I don't think
so
they go 12-0.
let's just say both these teams go undefeated. This team loses one game.
They can't go both undefeated because they have to play each other in the SEC championship.
I said Ohio State and Bama.
Oh, okay.
Ohio State and Bama both go undefeated. No. Ohio State and Bama. Michigan loses one game to Ohio State.
Okay.
A&M's gonna. I think they lose one game.
To Bama.
Yes.
Well, what Clemson? We have Clemson doing it.
Okay. Clemson, they're not making the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna be bad. They'll have 2 losses.
Okay.
Okay. So you got A&M has 1 loss. At the end of the year.
How many losses do you think Notre Dame will have?
Notre Dame will have 2.
Okay.
So they're not going to be in the playoffs.
Fair enough.
Florida will not even be considered. But
so the teams that you're looking at go up
are Bama, Michigan, Ohio State, Texas A&M. I don't think Georgia makes it.
What?
Especially
so if Georgia runs through the regular season 12-0,
they won't go 12. I don't think they go 12.
Who's beating them?
Let's put their schedule. Because I forget.
None of these teams are beating them.
Okay, there are
none of them.
There are
especially not Georgia.
There are 3 teams I can make a case for.
Who?
Okay, no, because they're not. They're on the road here. Never mind. I think they were playing at Florida.
It's a neutral site.
It's a neutral. Okay, but it's still technically Georgia's going to have the most crowd.
No, it's 50-50 every year.
Okay, but they're home, so technically
it's not a home game. It's a neutral site game.
It's a neutral site game, but they're putting Georgia as the home team.
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's a 50-50 split of fans every year. Do you watch college football?
I do, but what they don't tell you is a lot of the times the team that's put as the home team usually is allowed more seats. Whether they admit that or not.
They each get 50-50.
And I'm just telling you right now.
That's not how that works. And
I'm telling you right now, Georgia is going to win that. Unless it's at the Swamp, they're going to win it. This one, if Tennessee proves to be better than most people think they are.
I would love to see it because I hate Georgia. I can't stand Georgia.
And since they're at Kentucky, that's the only other game I can see them losing. Other than that, then they go undefeated. I think they could.
If they go undefeated and then they lose to Bama.
If they go undefeated and lose to Bama, then the possibility of them making the playoffs.
So that's what you think's going to happen, right?
Possibly. I still think there's a case
that
probably, but not necessarily.
Probably.
But I think that A&M only loses to Bama. I think after seeing their schedule, the hardest team they have is Bama,
Miami,
and Florida, and Miami. Okay, but
Miami could be a good game.
Okay, but Georgia's playing Miami too.
No, they're not.
I think they were not. Either way, but I still think they could beat Miami.
Here's what's gonna happen.
Bama's the only thing.
I think the thing about Michigan, actually, now that I look at it,
I think Michigan makes a playoff.
I feel like if it comes to if this team goes undefeated and makes it, this team has 1 loss and makes it, this team goes undefeated and makes it, and it's between these two. I'm starting to think now Michigan would have a better case than A&M because I feel like they would have more wins.
I'm telling you right now, I think that Georgia could get knocked out and A&M could go in depending on how that works. If Georgia loses 2 games in total and A&M will lose 1.
It's kind of stupid that way.
I know, but I'm telling you right now, I would not be shocked if it stays exactly how it is now, except for Bama or except for Georgia and Ohio State are switched. That's it. That's I can see that.
I didn't bring mine, George.
Oh, what's it at?
It's at 15. It's
Okay.
fine.
So we're gonna go. We'll just go through fantasy real quick. We're done with this.
Honestly,
am I signed in?
Honestly, you talk. Go to.
I hate this shit. Let's see.
Oh, hold
There
on.
we go.
Before we end, after you do fantasy, I want to talk about something else.
Okay. You have your team. You can just read it off.
I have 2 teams. One of my teams in one of my leagues is actually pretty bad. My team sucks.
Yeah.
I did not draft a good team. Partly it was because I did the draft in the morning, and I was trying to do it like while I was getting breakfast at right.
While you pull yours up, I'll do mine. I love my draft. Luckily, I got in like very early, and I didn't realize it was first come gets first pick. I didn't know that's how those worked. But I got in to make sure everything was set up, and I got first pick. So I think kind of obvious. If you don't take Justin, I always combine their names. Jonathan Taylor, first pick, or Derrick Henry, then you're out of your mind. I picked Jonathan Taylor because I had Derrick Henry last year, and he got hurt, and I'm still mad at him. I picked Jonathan Taylor. I got J. Herb as my quarterback in like 5th round too. I was super stoked. I want him so bad. I got Najee Harris as my other running back. By the way, if you guys are out there dissing Najee Harris, you deserve to just be shoved in a basket and thrown in the river. He'll have a great year, especially since they still have rookie QBs and quarterbacks that aren't that great. Mike Evans, I went ahead and got him because now that I knew that Brady was coming back, and he's gonna be great. Brady is playing against the Cowboys again, so I think that he could get it. Terry McLaurin, I picked him up for
I
a
have
couple
him
reasons.
on my team too. He's good.
I picked him up. Everybody disses Carson Wentz. The main reason Carson Wentz is usually really bad is because he doesn't have a reliable receiver. Terry McLaurin is one of the best and most underrated receivers. Michael Pittman was okay. Compared to Terry McLaurin, he's nothing.
I'll say
Terry
one
McLaurin
thing.
is an X factor,
Okay,
bro.
I'll give you one. Who's your top sleeper this year? 'Cause
Top
I have
sleeper
one
is
that
what?
no one's thinking about, and he's gonna have a stud year.
In like what position?
Any position.
In
Flex.
any position?
Flex.
Flex? Ezekiel Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott. Everybody disses him every year, and every year he freaking proves everybody wrong. And everybody thinks Ezekiel Elliott sucks.
I'm all aboard the Ezekiel Elliott
okay.
hate train.
Well, who's
Okay,
yours?
Mine's it's I wouldn't really call Zeke that much of a sleeper.
I would.
Okay, Tennessee rookie receiver
Traylon Burks.
Traylon Burks.
Nobody thinks he's gonna be a sleeper.
Will have a stud. No one is picking him.
Dude, nobody picked him because there's better receivers.
Do you have him on your team?
I have him in the free agency. I was gonna pick him up, but I decided to pick up another running back because I
See, so how many teams are in your league?
6 or 7.
And no one picked him.
Nobody picked him because we have better receivers. He's a rookie.
I guarantee you, not a lot of people have heard of him.
No, I have Traylon Burks.
He's
One of the best. He was one of the best prospects and receivers. He was.
And he's going to be the number 1 receiver. He's going to be a stud.
You want to know why
Pick Traylon Burks in all of your drafts. And like the last.
You want me to tell you why everybody knew he was going to be fine? Because every person compared him to who? A.J. Brown. Who did the Titans get rid of so that they could get Traylon Burks?
Yes,
A.J. Brown.
Sir.
Nobody believes that he's going to be bad. It's just that.
Except they have him projected 7 points week 1.
That's because
Which is a crime.
Okay, first off, they're playing the Giants, and
yeah,
they're not.
they're
They're just going to
Giants.
use freaking Derrick Henry. That's why he's projected at 7.6 points per game.
Alright, so that's fantasy for you. I'll go through my team.
I didn't finish my. It's just really quick. Kyle Pitts, everybody knows that.
I won't.
I just picked up Antonio Gibson today in free agency. By the way, sleeper. Hello. One of my favorite running backs. I didn't even realize he was in free agency. I picked him up and I dropped Tyler Lockett because now that I know that Drew Lock and Geno Smith are going to be throwing the ball, he's not going to get the ball. So I dropped Tyler Lockett, and that way I can switch him and Saquon up. And I have the Chargers D, Justin Tucker, and then my bench is stacked. Gabriel Davis, Russell Wilson, Marquise Brown, Rams defense.
Alright, I'm going to quickly run through my team because my computer's getting low, and I really want to talk about something. I got to pull it up on here. My team, Josh Allen, quarterback, got him in like the 4th round,
Yeah, I
I
got
think.
mine fifth.
Austin Eckler, who fell. I had the 5th pick, and I was thinking that
He's not.
I was like, I gotta choose between either Justin Jefferson or Derrick Henry, which would have been a tough
I would pick
decision
Justin
for me.
Jefferson.
I was thinking of picking Derrick Henry, but
Oh,
then the
you
guy
said Derrick. I thought you were talking about between him and.
no, because I thought Eckler was about to go, so I'm like, I gotta pick between Justin Jefferson and Derrick Henry, and the guy in front of me picked Justin Jefferson.
I would pick Derrick Henry
So
over.
That's what I would have picked Derrick Henry over Justin Jefferson.
No.
But anyway, Eckler is on the board, so I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna take Austin Eckler.
No. He's good, but.
James Conner, Debo Samuel, Terry McLaurin, George Kittle, DK. We run 2 flexes in this league and no kicker. We
You have
got
no kicker?
There's 2 flexes, no kicker.
Okay.
I didn't set up the league.
That's
George Kittle, DK Metcalf, and Elijah Moore. My other team's ass. I'm not even gonna go through them.
Okay.
Pull up. Okay, can I?
What do you
real
need?
quick? Oh, let me pull it
Well, just what do you want to type? 'Cause I don't
up. Go to Max Preps.
What are you talking about? Crown Point?
No, go to Max Preps.
Yeah, we're talking about. By the way,
Go to-
my hometown is absolutely.
Okay, go to football.
Yeah, where's it at?
It's right there.
I don't know if I still have my account.
Okay, go to Indiana.
High school football ranking.
Go to states,
Crown Point's number 1.
and then go to Indiana.
Yeah, I know where they're at. I know they're number
No,
1.
not
They
saying
were
Crown
number
Point,
1.
Okay.
Oh, they got pushed back.
Go to Crown
They're
Point.
10th.
Crown Point has never been that high in forever.
Yeah, they know.
Go to schedule
And they're gonna win the rest.
and
of
go to their upcoming game.
Yeah.
And go to preview.
Okay.
Okay, or then go back. Fine.
No, here I have my account.
Okay. Lake Central is beating Crown Point
No, they're not.
this Friday. Yes, they are. I'm gonna make a bold prediction that my high school is knocking off the 10th ranked team in the state where he went to high school.
What is it? Hang on.
We gotta watch the game, bro. We gotta watch the game.
I don't know what it's on.
Might be on RSN.
What is the stupid password?
Here, okay, do you want me to just put in mine?
No, it's okay. I just gotta remember which one I.
But here's the thing: Crown Point just beat Maryville, who's usually the best team in our conference, and it doesn't matter because LC's gonna beat them.
I don't remember. It's fine.
Go back. Just click the.
Yeah, it's not. I know they're favored to win.
Who's favored to win?
LC actually.
No,
they
they're
were
not.
favored.
They're not.
Oh no! At one point, maybe it was
Crown
a joke.
Point's supposed to kill him.
Maybe it was a prank, but there was
Crown
at one point.
Point's supposed to kill him.
At
but
one
they're
point in
not.
time,
LC's gonna
somebody
win.
posted something from Max Preps that said that LC had a 55% chance of winning, and I lost my mind. I was like,
It doesn't matter. They're winning.
They're not winning. Bro.
They're winning.
Dude, if we can beat Merrillville and Andrean, you're getting your butt kicked. I'm sorry. We beat.
Hey! We just beat Portage 17-14.
Wow, Portage, and you barely beat them? You got problems. All right, that's it. We're done, right? I think that's everything.
I wanna. We gotta stream that game. That
What?
Crown Point LC.
You know why I don't ever get to watch it? Because it's all pay-per-view.
No, RSN isn't pay per view. I bet
Where
you
you
it'll be on
watching
RSN. Region Sports Number.
I know what it is because I broadcast the game from
It's
it.
not pay per view.
It's not pay-per-view, but a lot of the times they won't stream it. They'll put the game up after, but they've gotten in trouble because those games are so popular. They've started having to make them pay-per-view. They did that during COVID with our
Whatever.
basketball
We'll see.
team.
We'll figure it out.
But all right.
All right.
Peace out, guys.